peace prevail all over the world. Peace, peace, peace.
வாழ்க வளமுடன். Be blessed by the divine. May the whole world enjoy prosperity, happiness, and peace. Good evening once again, all Vethathirians. Thank you for joining this wonderful session. Today being the special day, Bogi, a festival being celebrated all across, the last day of the sun's transit from Sagittarius to Capricorn, marking winter solstice and start of the longer days. Entire country is celebrating the festivals. Somewhere as a Lohri, bonfire, kite flying in Gujarat, Lohri in Punjab, Surya Puja in rivers in all the Himachal Pradesh and north, arts and dance across the world. Right? So such a worship, peaceful day. We have our professor, Dr. S. Lechoumanane sir, on the worship of God. We are very honored to introduce our senior professor, Dr. S. Lechoumanane sir. He was head of department entomology at Tamil Nadu Agriculture University. His research on okra, lady's finger, is world popular, not just limited to research, but is being applied all across Tamil Nadu for increasing the production. What best contribution you can expect, right? We have such a renowned professor on enlightening us today with the worship of God at the appropriate occasion of Holi, the Pongal. Now we would request our senior professor to start delivering his speech. Thank you, sir. வாழ்க வளமுடன்.
வாழ்க வையகம், வாழ்க வையகம், வாழ்க வளமுடன். குருவே துணை. வாழ்க வளமுடன். Am I hearing you all?
Yes, sir. We could hear you. We could see you. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. வாழ்க வளமுடன். Dear friends, I am happy to be amongst you in this fine evening. A deep thinking is to go to the topic worship of God. Here we have to understand the true meaning of the two words, worship and God. Before that, we have to think about the ability of human being is a unique, is very unique in nature because of his rational thinking. While other living beings, starting from one sense to five senses, they live as they are destined by nature. So, the greatness of man is to be understood well before thinking about worship and God. Before that, I like to thank the Professor Uma Srikant and also the professor who had introduced me to this evening meet through Zoom. I am very thankful to them. Now, as I told in the beginning, man is very unique because of his thinking faculty only. The supreme divine, considered to be God or Almighty, is to be understood very well. Then only we will understand the importance of worshipping. What is worshipping? It is paying deep respect. That's all worship. Understanding, accepting, and then paying respect. This everybody is telling, even Saint Poet Thiruvallur said, Valarivan Nattal Thodar Inin. Unless you understand that great divine, you cannot respect. So, when we understand the divine and its functioning, naturally oneself is bound to respect it. That itself becomes worship. So, with this small introduction, we will go about God. Many people ask, is God existing or simply an assumption? Those who is not accepting the fact, the existence of God, they call it nature, that's all. Whether it is nature or God or Almighty are one and the same when properly understood. To understand nature or God, we have to understand about its qualities. All those things are not properly explained. That absolute divine. Now, the science has developed very well. The faculty of thinking, scientific explanation can be given to greater extent. With that, when we think plenum, force, consciousness, and time, and the other three, self-transformation, and
Be blessed by the divine. Please bear with us. There is some technical issue. We are trying to fix that. வாழ்க Please bear with us. Just please bear for a few more minutes. We just contacted Aliyar. He is logging in into Zoom again. Please bear with us. We are trying to reconnect with Dr. X. Lechoumanane sir. Valdemar sir, we have unmuted from our end. Can you try that?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Sir, maybe
Okay.
because of the network connectivity, you need not switch on the video. Maybe only audio is better, sir.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Valdemar.
Okay. Thank you. Sorry for interruption because of weak signal. Yes, I was telling about the need to understand thoroughly about the qualities of the divine as given by our Guru Vethathiri Maharshi. It is a plenum, and then force, consciousness, and time. And the other three efficiency with which it is functioning is self-transformation, instinct, and virtues. These are all the things we have to understand very basically. In ancient times, people who cannot think all these things, they suffered a lot. They encountered problem in their life. They do not know what is that force is doing all those things. Just like natural disasters, like fire, inundations, earth tremor, and other calamities. They were afraid. They thought that somebody beyond their abilities are existing, and because of that, such things are happening. Because of fear and then sufferings, they started offering something without knowing the cause. They started praying. They thought that the supreme power to be God, but they do not know where it is, how it is existing, where it is seated, how it is a function. All those things they do not know. Simply, they offered their respect to nature, and then they expected some redeem from that. these things happened for long. But there were some thoughtful people. They started analyzing about the nature. In that process only, they started thinking about the self. Who am I? Where I come from? Like that, when they started, they traced through ancestry to reach the first human, then thereon to 5 sense animals, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then they found this one sensed organism to be composed of 5 elements: earth, water, fire, and Akash. And then Akash, when they analyzed, they found that it is that one, the ultimate one called God. But they could not explain it properly. They know very well the base for every appearance in the universe to be the ultimate one, the God, that is also existing as absolute space. When they came to tell all this to the common people, they were not ready to understand, and also they were not able to accept. So in that way, to make people to live in peace, virtues like morality, duty consciousness, and helping tendency all needed. So they thought the need for personification of God. That way only personification of God was brought in. They gave some forms to the divine, and then they taught these virtues. To make them to follow this implicitly, they brought in 2 yuktis, that is Swargam and Naragam. People believed that those who are doing wrong things, all these will be noted at the end of their life. They will put into Naragam. Those who do follow these virtues, at the end of life, they go to Swargam, heaven. So because of that, people started following. Likewise, at different parts of the world, people considered to be the divine to be the supreme. And they also brought in some way of life, giving this imposition called Swargam and Naragam. Somehow people wanted, these thinkers wanted to bring people to live in peace. These things existed for a long time. But as science advanced, the thinking faculties also started working. In that way only science has developed very well. They have reached to analyze the inner content of an energy particle or Akash. Still work is going on, but they have assumption that the start of that energy particle should be only from the absolute space. So they want to know about the qualities of absolute space and how it transformed. Still, the science is going on there. These are all the status we have to understand first. Now, when we think about that absolute space, we can easily understand. Plenum, it is the absolute space. If we expand ourselves beyond the limit of the universe, what is existing? Only absolute space, infinite. How it got transformed into energy particle was not well explained. Swami Vethathiri Maharishi explains very well. It is a self-compressive surrounding pressure with kinematic quivering. Because of that, it crumbled into tiniest particle called dust particle. That dust, scientists call God dust. These particles, again, because of surrounding pressure, got accumulated, associated in the form of energy particle. These energy particles, because of differential velocity, got associated into air, fire, water, and earth. This is how universe is formed. This is Swamiji calls it is a plenum. It contains that absolute space, contains everything. Only from that everything came. So nothing is short in that absolute space. This we have to understand. The same way that pressure existed there to transform into energy particle up to the universe, all those things. So that force is needed. It should have been there itself. Likewise, the consciousness, the orderliness with which it is functioning is called consciousness. So with these qualities, we have to go deep further. It is also functioning according to time. Time, I think many of the people attending this class may understand. It is the gap between two vibration is the time, which is conditioning the existence, the functioning of that absolute space. All these four qualities are not well explained long back. Even scientists are striving to explain this. So I am in short to tell you all those things. Regarding this efficiency with which it functioning means the absolute space itself transformed. No one was there to command it to change the status from absoluteness up to living being system, the universe and the living beings. So itself transformed. Then in that, it is functioning also as instinct. The consciousness is functioning in instinct from one sense up to 5 sense, and on reaching human level, it is functioning as virtues. All these things I cannot elaborate too much, and unless we understand this, we cannot go to the word worship. In this one component, we have to understand about the quality, that is consciousness, the orderliness with which it is functioning. The dust particle again is spinning because of surrounding pressure force. The same again composed into energy particle. In this, the spinning velocity varies from energy particle to energy particle. Because of this differentiation only, the other elements, air, fire, water and earth, formed. Here, that orderliness I am insisting is to be well understood. In that also, another thing is very important. For every action, there is a result. This is again the work of consciousness. When anything done means it ends in a result. This cannot be changed or refuted. This is very important to understand. But normally, people, the present state, even though science is well developed, do not understand these intricate things, but it is very easy also when they start thinking properly with the proper guidance and all. But at the present condition, people live only a materialistic way of life. The attachment to the materials needed for the body. The body needs everything for its existence. So, in the search of that, attachment occurs to these materials, thereby possessiveness, aggressiveness develop further, leading to the six unwanted temperaments: kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, macharya. So, in this way, with the advancement of science, people developed more and more attachment to these materials, and their trend is always only to live, to enjoy life. They do not know the meaning of enjoy. Enjoyment means, if we see, it should continue to give the joy. But at the present condition, can we have that joy continuously? No, we cannot. We have appetite to eat. We can eat. If we overeat, it leads only to difficulties. So it is not enjoyment. It leads to, this is the attached condition to these materials leading to suffering. In that manner, people without understanding all this, the cause and effect system, they develop more and more attachment leading to the suffering. This is naturally occurring all over the world. This is called the materialistic way of life. People are craving more and more to enjoy the essential pleasures. They think only that one to be enjoyment. This is the cause for all sorts of difficulties in mankind, starting from the individual up to the wars between countries and so on. Now, for worshipping this nature, man has to understand well these things. Without that, how it is possible? Is it under his control through this sensual pleasure, or through science? Can he control? We cannot. Unless he realizes the value of the self that we call who am I, or self-realization, he traces his origin to be the ultimate one. In that understanding and with this realization, he sees everything to be divine appearance, whether inanimate or animate. In that, the divine is functioning in a very, very orderly manner called consciousness. For his survival, he thinks the whole society is functioning. For his food, the entire people working. Similarly, for his shelter, clothing, everything. By understanding the self to be the divine, he is also able to see every human being to be the embodiment of the same God, same divine. Not only the humans, all other living beings, when he thinks the same thing. In the process of evolvement from absoluteness, he sees the Panchabhuta, the universe, everything to be divine. The same manner, when coming to the perceptual ability, starting from one sense organism up to 5, the same thing is existing and functioning in a very orderly way. From one sense to 5 sense, the same divine guiding them to live properly. All these from 1 sense to 5 sense are guided by the divine. They do not know to think and do for themselves. That is instinct. The consciousness working in them properly and regulating them. But when it comes to the sixth sense, the nature has given to himself the responsibility. That is the thinking faculty. By way of thinking, he understands that one governing me is only that divine then consciousness. This understanding only expands his mind to see everything to be divine. Everything is functional by its order of the divine. So the respect to the self starts first and then expands further and further to all humans and all other living beings, including inanimates, put together called nature. So the deep understanding only will lead to such conditions. Without that, no one can reach that. Particularly the cause and effect system. For every action, there is a result. Only brings him to the control, leads him to respect that divine order. Understanding and respecting becomes the worship. God already we have told, that Supreme One to be God or Almighty or any other term by itself at different parts of the world. So understanding thoroughly the existence, functioning only will lead to worship of God. Worship means this is the thing. Without understanding, accepting that Supreme is only faith. What is happening nowadays all over the world? People, 99.9% of the people have faith on God. Everyone thinks something is the supreme, that is the cause for everything. But they do not know the nuances with which it is functioning. What is its original state? How it transformed up to humans? They do not know. They are carried over by the guidances given long back. They stop with that because of such condition of the mind. They stand apart by name of religions. And then what is happening, nowadays, people suffer a lot. Though they have faith on God, they don't follow the virtues. By understanding all these things, man dares not to cause any harm to anyone because he sees everything is divine. Every human living along with him is only divine. Because of these humans only I am living. God is providing me everything to me through humans only. So he calls providence. The existence of God in the form of humans, in the form of living beings, in the form of inanimate Panchabhuta, everything functioning in a very orderly manner, the consciousness. So without any doubt or hesitation, he starts respecting that. He will not do anything more. He abides the nature's law, which becomes worship of God. Worship of God nowadays stands with offering something and then sitting for some time and then coming out, chatting. No. Amassing wealth more and more grabbing others and then living happily. How is it possible? It leads only to so many problems, so many miseries, peacelessness. All these things are occurring because of non-understanding existence of divine, its function, everything. So God is the prime. It is existing as absolute space. It's a transformation only up to humans. All these things, when properly understood, without any hesitation, he falls under that divine order and respect it properly. He will not cause any harm to anybody, either physically or mentally, either present or in future, not only to the body, but also to the mind, because the divine is functioning as consciousness. In him, it is also functioning as mind. When he puts the mind into action to know the truth, he reaches that ultimate. So, it is imperative for every human to understand this simple thing about the transformation of that divine Almighty up to human. It's very important. Only by thorough understanding, he can transform himself. Here again, the problem occurs. So far, he was under the control of the sensual sense organs. He is driven continuously to that line only. Though he had understood the thing, he is not able to come out from that. For that only, our Guruji Vethathiri Maharishi devised a system on simplifying through meditation, applying the mind and the life force, meditating, which leads again to understand the divine spirit. So meditation is very important. Understanding leads to change the course. For that introspection, maneuver of 6 temperaments and all he gives. And then about all, Swamiji insists on introspection. Without meditation, understanding the nature, the philosophy and introspection, it is not possible to find peace in the self, also peace all over the world. So, friends, I like to tell in short that the worship of God rests on understanding the divinity, its existence, its functioning properly. Then, naturally, he transforms himself to respect that great one, God, that becomes worship. So, my good friends, I like to conclude with this. Worshipping of God is very important. Takes man towards perfection. Man came only from that absolute, which is very serene. But here, in the way of transformation, from 5th sense to 6th sense, he accumulated so many sinful activities, called sins, blemishes. In its origin at divine, it is very serene, pure. But the same divine is existing in humans with the accumulated sins. To reach the goal of life, as he understands that he has come only from there, his goal also should be there. To reach that, he has to remove all the sins which he accumulated through ages, Sanchita karma and Prapta karma. So, the virtues of life is the only solution. He feels his commitment not to harm anybody in any manner, then it becomes morality. He has gained all his knowledge from the contribution of the society. All those things are given only by the society. So rendering back to the same society gives him the duty consciousness. God is always kind enough. The same attitude, when he understands, it becomes a charity, helping others who are in difficulties. All these three becomes more divine. Man can achieve this with the understanding of the divine absolute call, God or Almighty, Ishvara, Allah, whatever people may call. Once this is thoroughly understood, without any ambiguity, man becomes worshipful to that great divine nature. With these words, I like to conclude. Thank you all. By the grace of the divine, may all can enjoy good health, long life, enough wealth, fame, wisdom, and peace. By the grace of divine and the blessings of our Guru Yogiraj Vethathiri Maharshi, all enjoy all prosperity of life. May the divine be always protecting, guiding, and helping us in all our activities, day and night, at all times, at all places. Before concluding this, I convey my good wishes for happy, prosperous Pongal. வாழ்க வளமுடன், வாழ்க வளமுடன், வாழ்க வளமுடன். I'm concluding this.
வாழ்க வளமுடன். Thank you very much, sir, for this wonderful speech. It's always treat to listen to Professor Lechoumanane sir's speech on transformation. And today it's an added gift for us on such a festive mood. We are hearing about the worship of God, which is result of worship of God, how it will translates into love and compassion. He nicely portrayed us. Now the forum is open for the discussions. Please click the raise hand button in your Zoom app to ask your questions. While you are getting ready with your questions, we are having some very important announcements to make. kayakalpayoga.edu.in is the website where you can learn Kayakalpa sitting at home. It's also available in the Android App Store. kundaliniyoga.edu.in is the website where you can learn all Sky Yoga courses sitting at home comfortably and going to nearest centers for initiation. Other than that, our monthly journal Unbully is also available in Android application mode. You can download there, read the scripts of Swamiji and listen to speeches of Swamiji Vethathiri Maharshi. Sky Yoga TV, SKYYOGA TV is the channel for our Facebook and YouTube. You can watch, subscribe to them and listen to all the speeches of professors and Swamiji. Karma Yoga principles recommend 1% of your income donation to good causes. If you feel it's good, please donate to World Community Service Center. We are doing a lot of charity works like village service program, etc. So your donation would certainly help us in spreading the consciousness all across the world. These donations also entitle for Section 80G exemptions under Income Tax Act. You can make it through vethathiri.edu.in website or Unbully app or in any of the mode available in YouTube and Facebook as well. Now we are moving ahead with the Q&A session. Please introduce yourself with your name and place. We would request to state the question directly. Now we have Rajaraman sir. We are unmuting you. Kindly ask your question, sir. வாழ்க வளமுடன்.
Yes, sir. Audible, sir?
Yes, I am hearing you. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, sir. Very wonderful and informative information by your lecturer, sir. I'm very much pleased. I am from Chennai, Padandangal. My name is Rajaraman.
Good.
Okay, sir. I got two doubts, sir. Please clarify. One, the name of God, God, nature, Almighty, Providence, omnipotent, totality. All these things are there.
Yeah.
But we are always referring only God only. What about others?
One and the same.
Right? Okay, one and same. But we are only talking about God only. Is there
What else
any?
I have? Being one and the same, I tell only God.
I see. No difference.
Whatever the name we attribute, humans only attributing to that divine supreme. God,
Okay.
Ishwar, Allah, Kartar, all denote only that one.
Okay.
Ishwar Allah Tere Naam.
Okay, sir.
The second one?
Second one is, I got doubt for a very long time. I'm not yet clear. Please clarify my doubt, sir. Maharishi he created Temple of Consciousness Aliyar. Regarding
Yeah.
Temple of Consciousness, my doubt is in three parameters. One, the Temple of Consciousness is a physical form or human body or humanity. Which is correct, sir?
Consciousness is the divine one, constructed to bring the consciousness in human being about the great value of that. It is a symbolic one. Whenever people come over there, these truths only are explained. Instead of naming under a different name of different religion, people stand apart. But when it is under the name of consciousness, it is only the divineness prevailing everywhere, in everybody. So, beyond the barriers of religion, race, and all, Swamiji named it as a temple of consciousness, wherein he explains all the facts about the origin, the divine up to humans.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Be blessed, divine.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Rajaram, sir, and thanks for the answer, Professor. Anyone else have any other questions? Then we can discuss, or okay, if no more questions, we can conclude the session. Thank you all.
Thank you, Naresh.
Thank you, sir. We would like all the aspirants to come to Turiya meditation to thank our professors. Blessings to Professor Uma Shrikant for conducting the Turiya meditation. By the grace of divine bliss, she may enjoy good health, long life, enough wealth, prosperity, happiness, wisdom, and peace. Let us bless our professor for such valuable speech to us today. Senior Professor Dr. S. Lechoumanane sir, be blessed by divine. His good health, be blessed by the divine. Loving family, be blessed by the divine. His divine services, be blessed by the divine. Thank you, sir, for your wonderful speech. Please keep enlightening us.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I thank for all. Thank you very much. Be blessed by the divine. Be blessed. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. We would like to extend our blessings to all sky meditators. We are happy to bring you the tomorrow's program. Tomorrow, 14 January 2021, Thai first, morning 5:15 a.m. We have 9 center meditation in Tamil to be conducted by Professor Mahila Malar from Dindakal Zone. Morning 6 a.m. exercises in Tamil. 7 o'clock 9 center meditation in English by Professor Lily Gopal from Chennai. Morning 11 o'clock we have Tamil speech. Being Pongal, special speech of Swamiji would be telecast tomorrow. Evening 5:55 p.m. Panchendriya meditation in Tamil by Professor Amuda Rani from Dindukal Zone. Evening 6:30 p.m. retelecast of morning Tamil speech by Maharshi. Evening 7:30 p.m. and Panchendriya meditation in Telugu. Evening 8 p.m. special speech in Telugu, simplified Kundalini Yoga and 18 yogas in Bhagavad Gita by Professor K. Valli from Kovur. Please share the programs to all your Sky friends and relatives. Let everyone join this noble event. We thank our beloved President Arunidhi Padma Shri S.K. Mailanandan sir for his leadership and guidance for conducting such events. Have a safe and happy Pongal. See you all tomorrow. Let us conclude with the world blessing. May the world be blessed with the plenty of rain. The farmers work to produce an abundance of grain. Let practitioners of all prosper, flourish, and grow, and culture progress through the need to share and grow. Let the rulers be beyond feelings of anger or fear, illiteracy, poverty, and all evils made to disappear. Let the true lamp of knowledge burn steady and bright. Our sense of duty guides us along path always right. Be blessed by the divine, be blessed by the divine, be blessed by the divine. See you all tomorrow. வாழ்க வளமுடன்.
வாழ்க வளமுடன்.